Welcome to the September 3rd edition of the video blog from ListenToUs.com, exposing the threat of the New World Order from a Christian perspective. I'd like to start with a disclaimer. Any websites that I mention during the video blog or that I reference or read from does not mean that ListenToUs.com endorses any or all of the content on that website. It's just something I ran across on the internet that I wanted to share with you guys. First, I'd like to start by offering our condolences to the friends and family of Aaron Russo. We've lost a great patriot in Aaron. If you haven't had a chance to check out his documentary entitled America From Freedom to Fascism, I encourage you to go to videos.google.com and do a search on it. It's a wonderful, wonderful documentary about moving to fascism, which is what we're doing here in America right now, to facilitate the one world order. Okay, let's move along. Today I ran across an article on prisonplanet.com entitled Bush Greases Skids for UN Pandemic Power Grab. It says here that best-selling author wouldn't put it past globalists to release virus to capitalize on control. It says that the World Health Organization and the UN have been handed complete control over response procedures in the event of a pandemic outbreak in the US after an agreement was signed by President Bush at the recent SPP meeting that bypasses congressional approval. We've now got a North American plan for avian and pandemic influenza, and what this plan does is it puts U.S., Canadian, and Mexican under the World Health Organization and under the United Nations law and control should there be any health emergency, best-selling author Jerome Corsi told the Alex Jones Show on Friday. This is just one more time that Bush is handing over the sovereignty of our nation to the UN. We're getting closer to the New World Order, folks. I don't know whether it's going to be 5 years from now or 105 years from now, but our rights are being slowly chipped away from us. It started with the Patriot Act, which Congress didn't even read. The official story was they didn't read it because it wasn't written yet. I find that hard to believe. I think it was written years ago. If you haven't researched the Patriot Act, you need to get out and do it. Don't just say, take the line that you're getting from the mainstream media that says that this is a act that will enable us to help fight terror. Because the terms in it are so broad that any action that is against American law can be deemed as a terrorist action. I've heard it said that jaywalking can now be deemed as a terrorist action, which means that they can come into your home, illegally search and seize your property, and cart you off. So you need to get out there and research that. Alright, let's move along. A couple of free speech issues here. I'm going to piggyback two articles together. First one comes from onenewsnow.com. The second one does too. But it says, Georgia man will sue for religious speech arrest. I'm going to read first 4 paragraphs here. It says, a man who says his constitutional rights were violated when he was arrested for passing out religious literature has filed a civil lawsuit against the city of Cumming, Georgia. His attorney says it's an attempt to make sure the ordinance under which he was arrested is removed from the books. Frederick Bauman has sued in U.S. District Court for North Georgia in relation to his arrest on April 22, 2007 for distributing the literature, which resulted in 2 days of jail incarceration before a trial, prior to which Bauman says he was denied opportunity to obtain legal counsel, according to his Alliance Defense Fund attorney, David Cortman. A Georgia Superior Court judge dismissed all charges against Bauman on August 1st, which Cortman says shows the city denied his client his constitutional right to free speech and due process under the law. This is a quote from Cortman. It says, this is another installment in the continuing saga entitled, Do Christians Have First Amendment Rights of Free Speech, says Cortman. Although the obvious answer is yes, some government officials don't seem to think so. Frederick Baumann was arrested, jailed, tried, and convicted, all in a 2-day time span, for merely distributing religious tracts on a public sidewalk. They're just trampling our rights left and right, folks. We've got to start standing up for our rights. The second story, also from onenewsnow.com, is about a young lady named Erica Corder, who was one of 15 valedictorians in her graduating class given opportunities for 30-second speeches that day. She says she was escorted to the assistant principal's office following the ceremony and told that she could not be given her diploma because of her speech. Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel, the Christian law firms representing Corder, says she was given direction on a corrective action. The principal, Mark Brewer, then required that she not only apologize but have a specific statement in an email which he sent to the entire high school community, stating that if she had asked for permission, she would not have received it, says the attorney. Liberty Counsel also notes that Brewer later described Corder's comments at the podium as immature. All she did was talk about her Christian beliefs. First guy who was exercising his freedom of speech on the street was arrested. This lady was reprimanded in a public school. Her right of freedom of speech completely stifled. She had to apologize for being a Christian, or she wouldn't get her diploma. Folks, the things going on here in America are unbelievable. The only religion that you can make fun of, that you can stifle their freedom of speech, is Christianity. We have got to start standing up for our rights.